died, your own family literally hunted you down. You know it makes me nervous when you don't call the day you get the invitation, Mom said, whispering the words, the invitation. It was a sacred thing, and to be honest, we were all more than a little terrified every time we received one. Did you ever notice that the words sacred and scared differ only by switching 2 letters? I'm sorry, I continued lying to my mother. I just popped the RSVP into the mailbox on the corner. And I would, too. No point taking any chances with my mail carrier losing it. That would be a stupid way to die. Well, I'm calling your brother next. I swear, you kids do this just to torment me. She hung up before I could say goodbye. So here I was, 39 years old, single mother of a 5-year-old daughter, widowed, by cancer, not by family, and still being treated like a child. Not that my childhood had been normal by any means. You grew up pretty quick with the ritualistic blood oath at 5 and your first professional kill by 15. To be fair, Mom had a right to be nervous. She watched her older sister, also named Virginia, get hunted down by Uncle Lou when she had failed to appear at the 1975 reunion. That really had to suck. I'd been named after her, which kind of jinxed me, I think. In case you hadn't noticed, my immediate family members were all named after U.S. states or cities. Lou was short for Louisiana, much to his dismay, and Grandma Mary was short for Maryland. It was a tradition that went back to our first ancestors, who thought it would be a cute idea to name their kids after locations rather than actual names. My name was Virginia, but as a kid I went by Ginny. Of course, that had changed in college when everyone thought it was a real hoot to shorten my name to Gin. That's right, Gin Bombay. Yuck it up, I dare you. Bombay had been the last name of my family since the beginning. Women born into the family weren't allowed to change their names when they got married. In fact, the husband had to agree to change his name to Bombay. You could guess what happens if they refuse. Non-blooded Bombays were allowed to miss the reunion, as were children under the age of 5. Bombays had to let their spouses in on the family secret by the time the first reunion in their marriage rolled around. It wasn't exactly pillow talk. And, of course, you weren't allowed to leave the family once you know, or, well, you knew what happened. Most of us didn't even tell our spouses until the first 5-year reunion. I guess I'd been lucky, if you could actually call it that. My husband, Eddie, had died of brain cancer 4 years into our marriage, and even though I'd seen the lab results, I still eyed my cousins suspiciously. And while I'm fairly certain we haven't figured out a way to cause cancer, with my family, you never know. Roma, my daughter, had been born 1 month after Eddie died. I'd given her the traditional place name, but rebelled against the state thing. I called her Romy. I smiled, thinking about picking her up from kindergarten in a few hours. She was my whole life. All arms and legs, skinny as a stick, with straight brown hair and big blue eyes, Romy had given me back my laughter when Ed passed. My heart sank with a cartoon boing when it hit my stomach. Romy was 5. This would be her first reunion. She would have to be drawn into that nest of vipers that is the Bombay family. Her training would begin immediately after. And in a couple of weeks, she'd go from playing with Bratz dolls to icing them. Shit. Chapter 2. We are all dead men on leave. Eugene Levine, comedian. The doorbell rang, and I automatically checked the monitor in the kitchen. Yes, I had surveillance monitors. Hello, family hunts us down, remember? Hey, little brother. Despite my weary voice, I gave Dakota a vigorous hug.
You all right?
He asked, more with mischief than concern.
You're joking, right?
And I knew he was.